Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to be teaching you how to do TikTok ads because I know that everyone's been doing Facebook ads recently and Facebook ads just aren't it recently. So I'm going to be putting it on TikTok ads and I'm going to show you my process, my agency process, my personal process for TikTok ads and how to create successful ones that can actually make you money because there's no point of making ads that don't make money. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys right now. Alright, welcome back everybody. So now that we're actually here, this is the TikTok Ads Manager. This is the dashboard. This is the first thing you see. However, before you obviously get in, you first want to make your account, then obviously log in. So once you get that going, then you want to go into campaign. So obviously you want to hit create. Now the first thing you always want to do is you actually want to do conversions. Now I've actually tested traffic, reach, and conversions, and I've concluded conversions is just the best. So obviously app installs if you have an app, but I haven't worked with any clients that have apps, or neither do I, so I never used app installs. So moving on, you actually go into campaign name. So let's just name this one conversions, right? Now this is a very important part right here where it says budget. You want to leave it on no limit. The reason is that TikTok actually, one of the biggest problems with the TikTok ads platform is actually trying to get your ad set up in a way that it actually will spend money. Now, I've actually had multiple times when I was first starting out with TikTok ads, I actually had a lot of issues. So I talked to support. And that's actually another really cool thing, is that TikTok actually has customer support, while Facebook doesn't. Facebook just tells you what your problem is, and then they're like, yeah, it's your problem, go figure it out, which really sucks. So because of that, I stopped using Facebook and I started using TikTok. And so here, so you just want to leave it on no limit, and you want to hit continue. Now, the next thing you always want to make sure to do is you want to name your ad group. So in this case, we're just going to name it ad group 1. Just to make your lives easier. Now, TikTok Pixel. This is extremely important, and this is where the strategy actually really focuses on. Now, this strategy, we're going to be taking advantage of the TikTok Pixel, because the TikTok Pixel works in a way differently than Facebook Pixel does. The Facebook Pixel basically takes information, conversions, it takes traffic, all of this, and it basically tries to get smarter to try to predict who's most likely to click on your ad, who's most likely to buy, and all of that. TikTok works in a totally different way. Their Pixel works in a way that when your ads are first started to get broadcasted all around, it actually focuses on reaching a very broad and general audience, a massive audience, for as cheap as possible. So because of that, right now it works so well that it just makes more sense to just set up your pixel and then to actually target your audience. So this is where the strategy we're going to be focusing on here. So I already have a TikTok pixel, so we're just going to do that. Your optimization event, you don't want to waste your time with anything except the complete you don't want to do anything except complete payment. Complete payment is basically the best thing. I've actually tested out multiple. Initiate checkout just doesn't work, so we're going to do complete payment. Now you move on, you want to do select payment, placement, excuse me. You do not want to do anything except the TikTok one. So you want to take this off and you want to take off Pangle. I strongly recommend having comment section up, because if your comment section is up, then it increases engagement, and if your engagement is increased, then your ad actually reaches more people for less money. Basically like a quality score type thing. And it just makes your ad look more legit and trustworthy. Not only that, you also have an opportunity to actually reply to people, and you can actually talk to them, explain answer their questions. If they have anything, you can just answer it there directly, so it's not a problem. You can't really, you can do that with Facebook too, but here it's just more effective. I like to leave the video downloads on. Creative type, I totally skip that. Now this is the part that's most important. This is the part where you're actually really finessing the system here. So you don't want to do any of these. you want to totally ignore the audience part. Once you get to the demographics, I like to put United States. Now, keep in mind that the way it works is, unless you have a TikTok ads agency account like I do, you could only target one location, the one that you're based in. So in my case, since I'm in the United States, I'm going to be targeting the United States. Now, if you have a TikTok ads agency account, you can also be targeting the major 5 English-speaking countries like the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. Am I missing one? I don't know. But moving on, I don't know if I said Canada, but anyways. So the gender, you actually want to leave it on all. Now, usually it depends on obviously what you're selling, but in my case, I'm going to be selling a pet harness for dogs. So both genders will like that product. Now, this is important because you do not ever want to click on the 13 to 17 because kids are just least likely to actually buy a product because of the fact that most of the time they don't really have access to their money themselves. They usually have to ask a parent to actually buy something. So you don't want to do that. You want to totally avoid that. And then you click on the languages part. Now, I do English because last thing I want to do is I want to set up an ad that's in English and have it go towards an audience that speaks Japanese, Spanish, like that's just common sense. You just obviously want to leave it at English or leave it in the language that you actually sell a product, that your product is written in. So in my case, it's English. So here, now that we're at the behaviors and interests part, because I've actually run test ads on here, this is actually going to pop up this right here. Now, when you make an account for the first time, you're not going to have this pop up at first, and you don't really want to click on it because this strategy is around finessing the pixel. So just leave this empty, don't worry about any of that, don't worry about any of this. And then you get down to the daily budget part. Now, TikTok actually recommends that you multiply whatever product you're selling by 50, and that should be your daily budget. So, for example, if you're selling a product for $10, they basically recommend your budget to be $500. So obviously, if you're a beginner, you're not going to feel comfortable with a price like that. So I recommend sticking with 20 or 25. In my case, I usually always start with 25 to test products. That's just the magic number for me, and that's what I do. Now, remember how I mentioned that people usually have a hard time with actually getting their TikTok ads to actually show in front of people? This is very important right here. You want to actually leave it on to run continuously. Now, I know that there's a chance that you can forget and you're gonna have your ad running for days. So what you want to do is you want to quickly, once you set up an ad, you want to just have a reminder for yourself to turn it off, to check in on it and turn it off, a day later, 2 days later, 5 days, whatever, whichever. But if you leave this on, then your ad will be most likely to actually appear in front of people. Now, this part is also very important. Day parting. So this really depends usually on the product that you're selling, basically, for the reason. Now, this actually just depends, really depends, because when I reached out to TikTok support myself, they basically told me that day parting can actually be holding your TikTok ads from actually going out in front of people. So when you actually first start off, you actually just want to leave it on all day. But you could test it out. Day parting, you could just turn it on for whatever time works best with your audience. So if you already have a Facebook account and you already know what time people are most likely to buy around, just set it up like that. So for example, for me, I found that it's usually from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. are the best times for my what used to be Facebook audience and now TikTok audience. That just works the best for me. So that's usually the time I'd recommend for day parting. But for here, we're just going to leave it on all day. Your optimization goal, you want to leave it as conversions. And then you don't want to leave clicks. You want to do conversions. Remember that. And then your bid strategy, you want to leave it on lowest cost possible. Now, once that is everything done, you want to click next. And then we're actually going to have the page where we actually set up the ad itself. So here you do not want to click this. Spark ads is basically TikTok gives you these templates where you can create your own ad on the go. Usually they're pretty lame, to be honest. They're not really the best. So we're just going to totally avoid that. So I already have an account, my custom identity here, and then we're gonna upload our video. Okay, so now once you've uploaded your video, you actually want to watch it, make sure everything looks good. I already clicked mine looks fine and everything. So this is actually an ad that I've actually run previously and it's done pretty well. So I know that it's going to work well in the future. However, I'm not running this store anymore. So I'm not going to submit this ad. However, I'm going to show you guys everything, how it works here. So text, the best thing you want to do is you actually want to look through TikTok itself and you want to get an idea for what basically people are saying. So if you go on a TikTok video and you look in the comments, usually every once in a while you'll see a comment that says something like, oh, that ain't your dog, that's your dog. So because of that, it just makes it seem more more trustworthy, more kind of like people are more likely to have seen that before. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say turn your dog into your dog. See, that's a spelling exactly what we use. And so you want to keep something, you know, short, cute in the beginning. And then the next part is something along with an offer. So for example, if you're selling your product for a discount, you want to say something like that. But it's very important to not be slimy and say for a limited time only. What you want to be saying instead is you want to say until a certain day. It just works better. So, for example, today is actually Friday. So I'm actually going to say 50% off until Monday. Now, this basically gives people that see this ad, you know, 2-3 days to actually buy the product. It's much better than saying for a limited time only, because when I personally see an ad that says limited time only, I know they're BSing me. I know they're not, you know, they're totally full of it. That ad is still going to be running further on. But in this case, if you say until Monday, it just adds a little bit more urgency. It just feels like it's actually off only until Monday. Now, if you're super hardcore, you'll actually stick to that and say it's off until that day. However, obviously you can just extend it every single time you redo this ad until the next day, So for example, if I set this up tomorrow, I'm just going to put it up on until Tuesday and just going to keep moving on like that. Now that we're done with the ad itself, the CTA, you do not want to leave it on dynamic. You actually want to go in and click standard, and then you want to leave shop now. TikTok itself actually recommends shop now, and you don't want to do anything else. I know down here is something, yeah, visit store. You don't want to do that. Shop now is just the best. It's recommended. It's what TikTok says, so just stick with that. URL, this is obviously where the website you're going to click onto. You're going to add in. Now, you do not want to leave this box checked, because if you do, then people, well, most likely other businesses are going to have an opportunity to look at your ad and basically copy it. So just don't do it. And once everything is done, you just go through, review everything. Everything looks good. It says validation error right here simply because my URL, I just haven't pasted anything. So because I'm not actually setting up an ad right now for myself, I'm not going to submit it. But once you're done, you click submit and you're all good to go. All right, and there you have it. That was my little guide for how I set up my own TikTok ads. This is also a very similar process to how I actually set up ads for my own clients. So most of the time, this actually works very well, but in some instances, you do have to set up different things. For example, sometimes you have to go into the budget, sometimes you have to go into day parting to get it to run more effectively. However, that's just the more general way I actually run my ads, and most of the time they are successful, so I recommend trying them out. It's definitely much more different than Facebook ads, but it's worth a try. So if you liked this video, please let me know in the comments, subscribe. I'm going to be trying to post more videos about TikTok. So if you have any ideas for content I can create for you, please let me know, and I'll see you guys later on.